Do you want to be better organised? Do you want to make sure you can really start prioritising your projects and tasks? Then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Holly from Restack, and I make videos just like this one to help you fully use your technology. So if you use LinkedIn, CRMs or Trello, make sure you subscribe to learn how you can really make the most of all of these tools that are available.
Here is one of my Trello boards. Hopefully this looks familiar to you. So I break down my Trello boards into 6 different individual boards. So firstly, I have to do today. I then have to do tomorrow, next week, and long-term projects. These 4 pieces are the main elements of my work. I use this to fully plan my day and my weeks, as well as my long-term projects. I highly recommend breaking it down into these 4 things, and this will dictate to you how you manage your day and how you manage your time that day. At the end of every day, I come in and I move all of my to-do tomorrows into to-do today, because hopefully by the end of the day, all of these will be archived.
The most important thing is that you use Trello in a way that works for you and your business. This works for me. I've rolled this out many times with other clients and other people in operations, and this has worked really well for them. If it may not work well for you, that's okay. Put some tweaks in place so it works for you and supports you and your role.
My final 2 lists are waiting to hear from external and waiting to hear from internal. These are so important to me because it means I never forget who I'm waiting to hear from. It is so easy to get an email sent and then you'll realise weeks later you've had no response. I cannot express how important it is to set these 2 lists up.
You might be wondering why I have 2 lists for waiting to hear from. Just wanted to explain a bit more about that. I have a massive amount of people who I'm often waiting to hear from. Not everybody is as quick as replying as I would like. So rather than having one really lengthy list on my Trello board, I've split it out into 2 to make it a bit more manageable. And with the internal list, it means I can go around people who are in the office and ask them for their feedback or updates on that pretty quickly, and then address all of the externals. So if you are often waiting to hear back from people, I would really recommend keeping that as 2 lists.
I love a power-up, especially repeats. So I need to be making YouTube videos every week because apparently that's what Google and YouTube love. So I'm going to use a repeat. So every Thursday at, let's say, 8 a.m, 8:24 a.m, I'm going to get a notification on my Trello to make this video that day. Done. So next week, I'm going to be making another video about Trello. I don't have to worry about it until next Thursday at 8:24 a.m. when it pops up. And that's going to repeat every Thursday at 8:24 for the rest of time. So if you have events, tasks, activities you need to do on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, you can create this here. So they've got unlimited possibilities of how to use the repeater.
I cannot express how much I love this repeater power up. I use this constantly on all my boards. I have probably 10 to 15, maybe even 30 repeaters that I use on a monthly, yearly, quarterly basis, whatever it may be. It is so helpful. It takes that knowledge out of your brain and onto the technology, freeing up your mind to deal with other things, and it means that stuff never gets forgotten. If you have that one random task you have to do once a year or once a quarter, this is the way to make sure it never gets forgotten. Additionally, if you're on annual leave or you're off sick, it means someone else in your team can jump into this board and pick it up in your absence. So nothing ever needs to be forgotten.
Another incredible power up is Snooze. There can be times when, let's hypothetically say, you've got a whole load of stuff in your long-term projects and you're thinking, oh crikey, that looks it's a bit overwhelming, but you know you're not going to hear back from the website for another 6 weeks, or you know that the company events are going to be on hold until February. So rather than having it on there clogging up your workspace and potentially your workload and your prioritization, snooze it, just like you would with an alarm clock or your emails or anything else. Snooze, and I know that I'm going to hear back from this on a specific date. So I know on the 28th of September at 1 p.m. there's a meeting about the company events. So I'm going to put this in for 12 o'clock, and I'm not going to worry about it until then. It's going to disappear, and on that date it's going to appear back again. How useful is that?
Sometimes Trello boards can get a bit clogged up with lots of information, especially if you're working on sort of multiple projects or multiple boards at the same time. So for me, I just love getting stuff out of the way if I'm not using it. So I find the snooze button really useful. Clear board, clear mind. That's the way I work, and it is always there. You can still access it if you need it, but it clears stuff up and makes sure you can prioritise what you really need to be working on right now instead.
The third and final power up I want to share with you is, it's called approvals. Really, really useful. So I've got Richard here who is waiting to approve something for me. So it's the marketing budgets for 2024. Richard is a member on this board, and I'm waiting for him to come on and approve this. So I'm going to show you this how to set this up. So we're going to go to approvals. So we need to approve the new website. So you come to the approvals power up here, and this is all available on the free plan. And I'm going to select myself to approve this one. You can actually do 2 approvers, so we'll use 2 in this example. So we're going to create. Then all we'll need to do is, when I'm ready to approve it, I tick it, and it says approved. And then on the main Trello card, you can see there that 1 out of 2 people have approved it. How useful is that? You don't have to worry about getting approvals and emails. It's all here, and there's now a chain of when and who has approved all this stuff. The last thing I highly recommend you do is once or twice a week, just go and make sure everything is as it should be. So especially you're waiting to hear from lists. If you've heard from Christine, fine, archive it. If you really need to get an update from Brian now, because he still hasn't got back to you on something, move it to do tomorrow. Keep it up to date. You can use automations as well, which again I'll cover in a later video, but where possible, use this yourself. Go through your Trello board. You could even create a little repeating Trello card that says once a week, update your Trello. And just go through each card, make sure it's up to date, and action anything that needs to be done to make sure that Trello is working for you.
If you're anything like me, you normally have 101 things going on at once. So I really hope that this video has helped you understand how you can use Trello to prioritise and organise your workload. The one thing I haven't touched upon in this video is labels and using all the different colours and labelling systems to help you further. I'm going to be touching on that this time next week, so come back then for my Trello label video. In the meantime, give me a subscribe to stay up to date with all my other videos, and thanks for watching.